Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining me today at Almost a Green Acre. My name is Krista, and today we're going to be talking about ginger. And I'm going to be planting some of this ginger, and I'm going to show you some simple things that you can do, different techniques that you can use, and we're just going to talk about ginger a little bit. So to begin with, these trays are just, I bought them at Habitat for Humanity, and they're meant to have rolls of, oh, for goodness sakes, wallpaper. So you put a roll of wallpaper in here to wet it before you put it up on your I don't even know if anybody too much uses wallpaper nowadays. So I have this one, and I have another one. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill holes in this one. I'm going to drill, you'll see here on the bottom, I think you can see that my light is getting a little bit low, where there's raised areas. So I'm going to do 5 right across. I'll do 1 here on the raised area. And the reason I'm not going in the center between these raised areas is because the plastic is a little bit weaker there. So I'm going to stick to the higher points. And these are going to be resting on stones, which I'll show you in a minute. So we get to use a drill today. Yay. Make sure it's not even going in the right direction. I think that's it. So I'm just going to quickly drill these holes, and I'll show you when I'm done. Going the wrong way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. There we go. Get that out of the way. And I don't think that I actually did them big enough, but I'll show you in a different one. So can you guys see I don't know if you can see the holes or not, or the light shining through. But anyway, that's as easy as it gets. If you don't have those kind of trays, and maybe you have these seed trays, and you know how flimsy the tops can be, and they get all wonky and you can't use them anymore, you can even drill some holes in the bottom of one of these, and then, you know, leave one so that it doesn't have holes, and it sits right in there. And I'll show you in a minute what I'm talking about. So here we have a couple of trays. Yeah, I guess I can grab this one. So in this tray, I have some ginger in there, which I'm going to just take out briefly. Ginger is considered a rhizome, and you can see, hopefully you guys can see it. There's holes that are drilled in there. And I'll just set that down there. This one doesn't have holes, and it's got water in it with rocks. So I'm going to try and lift you up so you can see it. And so this has got no holes, and I intend to put this tray inside the one that doesn't have holes. Now, the reason that I have these rocks, and there's nothing special about these rocks, I just went out to my driveway and grabbed some crushed stone out there, and that's basically what you see right here. Crushed stone from my driveway. It doesn't have to be a complicated thing. And the reason that I have water in there is because ginger really likes humidity. So a good place and it doesn't like direct sunlight, so you want to plant it in an area that gets indirect sunlight. So I'm going to be putting it in my south window, probably for a couple of months until some of my seedling trays need that spot, and then I'll find another area for them. But it's going in my south facing window, so the sunshine, when it hits the south, will hit these black containers, which will warm up the rocks, which will warm up the water that's down inside that tray, which will give the environment that basically because who wants their house, you know, full of humidity? Not me, because that just makes me feel cold. But this will help the germination, I guess, of these rhizomes. So somebody that I knew gave me these approximately 3 weeks ago, and they were a lot more firmer and they were a lot more plump. And then I had to get them out of the kitchen for whatever reason, well, because I'm tearing it apart and moving a partition wall and that sort of thing. So I moved them over to the shelf, and I made the mistake of putting them on an egg carton. So that's cardboard, and cardboard absorbs moisture, which is why I like to use paper plates in a lot of my gardening stuff that I do. But anyway, so I put them on a egg carton, and I stuck them on the shelf, and then I kind of forgot about them. And then anyway, I was busy doing some other things, and I found them and rearranging my living room a little bit. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to put some soil, and let me see if I can move you guys down just a wee bit. I'm basically going to take and put some soil in here, and then I will move you down. I'm going to just tilt you. Sorry, guys. I think you can see what I'm doing there. There we go. And I'll just move that ginger out of the way so that I can get this. I got a broken, don't throw any of this stuff out, guys. Anyway, it's a broken handle, and it's great for scooping in small areas, that's for sure. And then I'm just going to take, and I'm putting soil that I went outside yesterday. We had a beautiful day, and it was like, I don't know, +2 Celsius type of deal. And I took my shovel, and basically my round mouth shovel, and was able to break through, you know, the ice in my pile of soil, and drug a whole bunch of it inside the house here. So take it, you know, I like to take advantage of nice weather when I have it like that. And so what I'm going to do, I don't want to overdo it here. It doesn't need to be, only needs about 2 inches. And I'll show you in a minute. Maybe a couple more scoops and we'll be done. We'll see in a minute. All right. And it's already moist because it was outside, and it's been inside for, no, it needs a wee bit more than that. It's been inside for 24 hours anyway, and all the ice crystals have melted and whatnot out of it. You guys are going to have to get used to seeing me in a hat. However, I do have a new hat coming on Monday from my other daughter, and I had won a hat in a prize giveaway, and that's going to be coming now that Canada Post is, so yeah, I'll have a variety of hats, and of course my hands are filthy. Wet ones. Can't be working and doing stuff with dirty hands like that. I didn't realize that was that wet, but it is. There we go. See how clean those came. For the most part, I'll wash them when I'm all done here today. So there we go. Now you guys can see it. So I'm going to take some of these because they've dried out a little bit. I'm not even sure if they're going to take, but I'm not going to waste them. And I want you to, I want to show you. So there's a little bud right there. There's another little bud right there. And then if you flip it around, there's one here. Or nodes, I guess. Buds, nodes, there's one, and there's one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set this down here gently in the soil, like so. I'm going to push it down into the soil. And then we're going to continue on. I have another one here. Now, I could actually take and cut it right here because I have 1, 2, 3 nodes there, 4, and really all you need on a piece of ginger is, well, you know what? No, I'm just going to leave that like it is. I was thinking about cutting it there, but because I've deteriorated a little bit, I'm just going to leave it as is and put it right in the soil like so. So this is called a rhizome, and basically what happens inside the soil is these little nodes, these little buds. So this is another piece. This has got like, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's tons of them on here. But because it's deteriorated a little bit, I'm just going to leave it as is. And I'm just going to pluck that right in there like so. And I'm not going to waste what was given to me, obviously. Move this one over slightly. And then we're going to cover these a little bit, obviously, with a little bit of soil. And then I got these two pieces, and I believe that it broke off of this here. One here was sort of a whole piece, and they all broke apart. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're fairly firm. Yesterday I actually rehydrated them with some water when I discovered my mistake. And I'm just going to push that down in there like so. And then this piece is going to go here. So you can see, bring you up, what they look like. Now, if you don't have black things like this in your area, then just use a container that you get salad leaves in, or spinach leaves, or whatever it is that you buy in the store, donut cases that come in plastic and stuff like that. So I'm basically just going to lightly cover these over. I am going to have to use my hand again. I don't want to cover the whole plant up. I want to leave some of it exposed. But I'm going to pat it in there, like so. Yes, so anyway, ginger. Plant it once and harvest forever. And I do haven't shown you that yet, I guess, but I do have I'll talk about that in a minute once I pick the camera back up. So there, I'm fairly happy with that. This big guy here might need a little bit more. And because this soil is already moist, I'm not going to be giving them a drink. And the tray already has some water in the bottom with those rocks. There. Perfect. I'm just going to move those out of the way. And then we're going to continue with this. Get my hands cleaned up a bit. I'm going to need another couple of those. I do actually have disposable gloves. I guess I could have put those on. Anyway, that will work for now. Put that over there out of the way. So what I have here also is another large rhizome, and I'm going to show you how to cut it. So first of all, I'm going to show you the rhizome. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut it right here. And, well, let's just get started. Cut it there. Here's what it looks like. Now these are not going to be going into the soil today. Where did this one break off of? Right there, I thought. So there's all kinds of nodes here on this one, and it's not going to be, what I want to happen is I want this exposed piece here to skim over or harden off a little bit. So I will plant that tomorrow once it has a chance to do that. I'm just going to put it right back here in the tray. That's going to go in my tray tomorrow as a piece. Here I have on this, I'm going to use my knife to show you. I've got 1, 2, right down here is the knife, 3 nodes. So I'm going to actually cut that one right there, like so. And then there's the exposed part. So that's going to be another one. And I'm doing all this, the reason that I'm doing all this is because ginger takes a very long time to grow. It needs 8 months to grow. So starting it here in December, normally you would start it, like usually in about February, but because it's getting older, I don't want to take the chance of losing it. So there's a node here. There's a few up here on this part here. There's 1, 2, 3 over here. So I'm just going to take this piece here and I'm going to cut it right there, like so. So this piece had one that came off of it already. This one I just cut, and I'm going to leave the rest intact. I suppose I could cut that off, but I'm just going to leave it attached. So there's 3 pieces. This is what we're left with right here. And I just want to look at it here. This piece here certainly has, so there's 1 node, 2 nodes, 3 nodes, 4 nodes. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to break it off, or I'm going to cut it off of the main part. So that's going to be able to harden off, and I'll be able to plant that tomorrow. This one is a pretty full piece, like it's not, so I'm just going to leave it as is. This little shoot off here, I don't think that I'm just going to leave that. No, it's looking pretty sketchy. I think I'm going to cut that off because I don't want to take the chance of putting it in moist soil and then having that start to rot inside the soil. And then what I'm going to do with this little piece here is I'm actually going to add it to my tea that I'm going to make, that I've been making. Or actually I add it to my water. I'll add it to my water because it'll stay in there longer. So I'm just cutting it up so that it's easier to get at. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to set this over here like so, out of the way. And these little pieces of ginger that I just cut off of there are not going to go to waste because I had some lemon inside my fridge which I needed to use up, and this is my pitcher of water right here that's got lemon in it. So I couldn't find the attachment that goes on the top of this to hold it into the lid. So this is what it looks like when you pull it out. So that's lemon in there. Lemon water is very good for you. And so I'm just going to drop this ginger right in the top of that, like so. And that can steep in my water for a few days and bring my body benefits from that. Here's the lemon, one of the lemons that I used that came out of my fridge. They're a bit on the smaller side. And what I decided also on this tray, I think I can show you. So as I was slicing some of those lemons up, I got a few friends in California. Angel in California, she grows beautiful lemon, but lemon are really tall, and I live in a very cold climate. So as you can see in my hand here, that was basically from about 3 lemons, and I didn't even get all the seeds. So that came from 3 lemons that I cut up today to put in my water. I'm just going to put those back on the tray like so. And I've decided that I am going to try growing them. So that's why I drilled the holes in that other one, so that you can watch me try to develop those over the winter. So this here is a cup of tea, I guess, that I have steeping. And inside this tea, I have some lemon. It's pretty full, actually. I just want to let you see. So it's been steeping in my water, and you'll see the color of the water. It's turned slightly yellowish. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to cut another piece of ginger. I do have in my what I like to call my medicine cabinet over there on my wall, the essential oils that I use. These here are this is ginger essential oil, and you don't just go and I'm putting my glasses on here so that I can read this big name. So what I'm going to do here, hopefully it'll come out easy. I just want 1 drop. 1 there. came out. Because pure and natural, 100% pure and natural ginger is quite potent, and my tea does not need any more than 1 drop. So I'm just going to give this a little bit of a, I'm not going to quite stir it in there just yet because I want honey to go in this tea that I'm drinking. This is wildflower honey that came from BC. My daughter sent it to me last year sometime. And I'm just going to lift up that, can't even think of what the name is. So as I was saying, I use essential oils as a medicinal, remedy for different things. And the reason that I'm making lemon today is yesterday when I was out, and I'm just going to let that all steep. Right, give that a stir where the drop of ginger was dropped in there. So anyway, yesterday when I was out shoveling and trying to break up the ice crystals in the soil and stuff like that, I'm just going to set that there. Have a sip of it here in a minute. My back, I started getting like muscle spasms, and I was having muscle cramps. And lemon is really good for that sort of thing. Lemon's good for a lot of different things, and I want to read to you, excuse me, before I get off topic. When it comes to using essential oils in a internal, for consumption internally, in Canada, and I see here, I had to look it up, they changed the name of it, like, so the governing body that regulates essential oils for consumption in Canada is called the Natural Health Product Regulations by the Natural and Non-Prescription Health Product Directorate. Who on earth would be able to remember all that? I don't know. So the abbreviation for it is NNHPD. And in the United States, of course, they've used definitely a term that everybody's familiar with is the FDA, right? So that's the governing body, and so I would not recommend getting, so here's lemon right here, and here's the ginger. I could have put the lemon essential oil in it, but I chose not to because I had lemon here that I needed to use up. But eventually my shelf is going to be depleted of the essential oils if I don't buy any more. And why not grow it? If I can grow it, I'm going to try and grow it. Obviously, I can't leave a lemon tree outside, but I do have in, let me just move you guys up here again. There we go, I think. So here I do have 10-foot high ceilings. So I do have a, what do they call them, like a pulley or something like that. And so all I need basically is just a container to put the lemon tree in. So I'm going to give it a whirl. I'm going to grow those seeds just like I'm going to grow this ginger. And ginger, once you plant it once, so what it's going to do is it's going to send off this rhizome is going to send off shoots in a lateral direction, right? It's going to send off shoots, and then from that is going to sprout up a plant, and then I will be able to take that off of the actual rhizome that I put in the ground, and I'll be able to transplant that into another container. So I'm going to give this a quick little taste because it's been steeping for about 10 minutes. Ooh, pretty tart. Yeah. But anyway, it's going to be good for me. Ginger is absolutely amazing when it comes to, and lemon as well. Lemon is good for all kinds of things. And I just want to look here. So ginger is helps relieve. No, I'm just looking this up online. It's a Google search, guys. I do have over there on my shelf. I do have like a massive book. It's like an essential oil kind of Bible, and then I got a small reference book as well to tell me all these things. But this is in front of me, and I can read it. So ginger root helps prevent and treat arthritis, inflammation, and various types of infections. And lemon is also known for it's high in vitamin C. It helps with wrinkles and skin, and it's basically a free radical, and it goes around repairing stuff. So I think I mentioned on a previous video that I have plaque psoriasis in my scalp. It's not really bothering me so much today, but things like this can actually help us. And that's not to say that I have to take this every single day. When I look over there at my shelf, if I happen to be going through something, lately I've been experiencing a lack of energy, for instance. Yesterday when I was out, and sometimes you just force yourself through that stuff. So yesterday I was out and doing some shoveling, and then I was getting some muscle spasms and muscle cramps. And of course I have arthritis everywhere. So I'm going to treat that, right? Inflammation and things like that. So that's what this was all about. Basically, this here ginger I will plant tomorrow in the same black containers. I'm going to put it in my south-facing window. And if I can plant it once, so can you guys. This here is basically just a store-bought ginger. I mean, there are literally thousands of varieties of ginger, and ginger is a tropical plant, right? It comes from the tropics. So it depends on your zone and one thing another, but I have to start it early and I have to bring it inside. I don't have a heated greenhouse or anything like that. So I'm going to start it, and then I'm going to up pot it into bigger pots and continue until I can send it outside. And whether I put it in a container or I put it right in the ground, it doesn't matter, because it typically will mature basically between the end of October and kind of January, depending on what zone you're in. And so the end of October, I mean, for us, that's getting pretty close to hard frost, right? This year we had hard frost before the end of October. So this ginger next year will basically have to come back in the house, and there's nothing like fresh ginger. Fresh ginger doesn't look like this. It doesn't have this hard skin that you have to peel. If anything, you just take your fingers like that and you rub it, and the skin comes right off, and it's spicier. It's got a little bit more heat to it. It's a lot more potent to use fresh ginger. So that's was my quick little video today, guys. I hope that you'll join me next time. I think what I'm going to do is, depending on the holidays, and I'm not sure what my plans are, but I will put a couple links in the bottom that I might think are relevant, and obviously YouTube always suggests another video over here, I guess, or here, depending on what your interests are. They always put up a video based on your interest and compare it to whatever videos that are on my playlist. So thank you for joining me today at Almost a Green Acre, and I look forward to having you come by, stop by another time. Have a wonderful day, and be blessed. Bye for now.